All right, so it is today, February the 7th, 2025. It is a cool, crisp 35 degrees. We're going camping. Stay tuned. So my preferred choice of camping is this vehicle. In fact, I just bought a rooftop tent for it, and I wouldn't mind taking it out. But one problem. I never put the heat back in it yet. So literally the heat from the engine will warm up the cabin a little bit, but considering we're looking at rain and I don't know where I'm going yet, might be a bad idea. Might need to have a heater for a survival type situation. Now, second option is the camper. But the camper is winterized. Now, problem with that too is I don't want to pull into a campground. When I say camping, I mean camping, the great outdoors, the woods. And yes, that's probably not the best idea when it's in the low 30s and it's supposed to rain tomorrow and be in the 20s, chance of snow, but I have got to get outside. I had surgery on the 7th or 6th of November. I have been on the couch forever and I am going stir crazy. So this is a mental health trip, total mental health trip. So what's our other option? Well, we're taking the Sequoia. Now, I have loaded up way too much stuff. I've got the back just piled full. Can't see because it's in my windows. But we are ready to rock and roll. We have everything we need. Even, yep, we even got that. And we're gonna make this a good trip. I'm actually looking forward to it big time because I have not been out forever and I need this trip. I need it more than I can even tell you. I can't even describe how much I need this trip. So we're going to do, well, we're taking the least worst option. We are borrowing my brother's camper. Small little teardrop camper, perfect size, about the size of a coffin, but in the event of bad weather, we're good. Got a shelter over us. Got a big tarp to put over the top of it, you know, so I can have some outdoor seating. And not the ideal situation. I hate borrowing things, but in this case, we're doing it. All right, so we are here. We are at my brother's house picking up the coffin. And this, underneath the tarp here, is a 78 Triumph Spitfire 1500. Not sure how we both ended up with British vehicles, but we have a lot of fun with them. And actually, the plan is to take these guys camping next year a couple times, so should be fun. But this is a little homemade job that he picked up down in, I think we went to Virginia to pick it up. Maybe it was Maryland. It was Maryland, and nothing big, nothing fancy, but for tonight's excursion, it will definitely keep the weather off, and really all I care about. So we're going to get her hooked up here to the Sequoia, and we're on our way. All right, we are about 2.5 hours into this drive, and we're not quite there yet. Got about another hour to drive. Picked my sites for my favorite camping spot. It's a dispersed campsite down in Parsons, West Virginia. Probably never heard of it because I had never heard of it. But Parsons is one of the trailheads for the Otter Creek Trail. The other trailhead is in Harmon. So the trail goes from Harmon to Parsons, about a 20-mile trail. Really cool primitive camping if you're into hiking. I've hiked up there, camped a lot. Obviously for this trip, just gonna get out and do some dispersed camping down by the river. And I may actually, I'll probably get some footage. There's a nice swinging bridge I'd like to show you guys, and I'll show you the Condon Run trailhead, which is Yellow Creek. And I will show you the secret, which is the dispersed camping down on the river road, and unless you know where to look, you'll never find it. So this is gonna be top secret. I'm gonna share it though, but all I got to say is you better not take my campsite. All right, We're taking the Brewston Mills exit here in 2 miles on 26. We are south of Morgantown. Actually, we are east of Morgantown. And let's see, just past Cooper's Rock about 15 miles ago. If you're ever down this way, highly recommend checking out Cooper's Rock. In fact, go past Cooper's Rock when you're there in the campground and go on down to what they call Rock City. You have to hike back to it, but it's worth the hike. Used to take my kids back there to hike on the rocks. Man, they had a blast. So definitely worth the loop. So there's a whole bunch to do down here if you're into the outdoors. Hit Cooper's Rock, hit Blackwater Falls, hit Condon Run, which is where we're going to show you the trail, show you these dispersed campsites down the river road, and man, just a lot of cool stuff. I can't even scratch the surface. Going down to Seneca Rocks, Spruce Knob, Dolly Sods, Chimney Rock. Chimney Rock was awesome. Seneca Caverns, Smoke Hole Caverns, whole Smoke Hole Canyon's cool. There's just so much to do if you're into the outdoors, and this is the ultimate playground for the outdoor enthusiast. So we're gonna keep on driving here. Got the Brewston Mills exit right here, and do another update in a minute. So this is the Cheat River. It is up. It is flowing pretty hard. It's moving. I've not been down here when it's been up like this, but I've definitely seen some video of it when it's out there raging. Let me take a look at this. Here's a dam trying to block some of the water's rage. That's a lot of water coming over that. That's pretty impressive, actually. So we're heading up St. Joe Road off of 26. Just turned off of 26. It looks like we're going to meet up with West Virginia Route 7, which is one of the main arteries into where we're headed. So I misspoke a second ago. I said that the trailhead went from Parsons to Harmon. It actually goes from Parsons to Hendricks. So Harmon's just another little town down here. It's kind of like a little hub where everything kind of splits off, whether you're going to go to, you know, the trails, or if you're going to go to Seneca Rocks. So the name just kind of stuck out of my head. But at any rate, we are on another little 2-lane byway and still heading along. Got some pretty impressive whitewater going on out here. Probably not catching it with the camera, but wow. I'm going to stop right here and check it out. You're seeing is Route 72 south. It follows the river here. I think it's still the Cheat River, but it could be the South Branch of the Potomac. But this water is raging, and I'm telling you what, in the summertime, this is one of the most beautiful drives you'll ever see. When there's leaves on the trees and everything going on, it is just a fantastic road to drive on. But highly recommend it. So if you're seeing that, there is almost no cell signal down here, and it's kind of amazing because everywhere you go back, you know, back in the city, it's cell service everywhere. Check these out. So we just got a little bit of a signal back because my radio kicked back on, but two things when you're down here in the deep backwoods of Appalachia down here in West Virginia. One, you can't rely on a cell signal. they're intermittent, they're hit and miss. Two, let me show you this. Probably can't see that. Do not pass up a chance to get gas. I'm sitting in a quarter tank, a little over a quarter, and I know where the stations are, so I'm not too concerned. But if you think you're just going to go on to the next town and find a gas station, excuse me, chances are that's not going to be the case. See, we're driving up a mountain pass right now, so even if you could try to gauge how much fuel you're going to use, these mountains take a lot more fuel than you think, especially when you're pulling a trailer. And the trailer I'm pulling is really small, there's nothing to it, but nonetheless, that's still got to affect my gas mileage. And you can see here, it's uphill, downhill. It's just a beautiful drive to begin with, but it's just one of those things. When you get down here, you start to realize there's only so much you have control over, and your cell service and your gas are two things that are not. I tried to text my daughter back. I've got exactly 1 bar, and the message failed. I generally, when I get into the towns before I get out to where I'm going to camp at, there's usually a cell signal there, and I will text the family, let them know where I'm at, let them know I'm okay, and try to send them a pin just so they have an idea where I am. But really, be prepared. The first few years I came down here, my wife would get mad because I wouldn't tell her when I got here. Well, at that time, there was no service anywhere. You had to drive miles, and I mean like 10 or 20 miles just to find a cell signal to send that message. So it didn't make a lot of sense. So just know that when you're here, and you know, enjoy the ride, man. This is a beautiful countryside. Beautiful. All right, so I am in Parsons, West Virginia, and you can see here's an old train depot and the old rail tracks that used to go through here. So it's been converted to a rail trail now. You can actually go up here and ride bikes and do stuff. If I get a good view of it or not, let's check it out. Oh yeah. So it looks like we got part of a trailhead here, and then just one of the outbuildings, and there's not a lot in Parsons to do. It's just a really cool town. It is quintessential West Virginia. It is just a cool little place. And for me, it's like the entrance to the outdoor world, because this is my favorite place to camp. I really would like to get down here and do some mountain bike riding, or just some trail riding. I'm not really much of a mountain biker anymore, but this is the town itself. I mean, obviously they have a little McDonald's. I'm behind the gas station right now. It just filled up. You can see the Sequoia with the coffin trailer. And then if you look back here, beyond that dumpster is a little diner called B&J's. It was pretty decent last time we were there. My brother and I ate there last time we were here. Now, there used to be a really cool little pizza slash sandwich shop up here around the corner, and last time we were down, it was out of business. I was kind of bummed about it, because it was close enough that we didn't have to cook food for ourselves at the campsite. We could just drive right up to the restaurant and eat. And I know that's cheating, but at the end of the day, it's not really a bad thing when you're just chilling. But anyhow, I'm going to get some video here of the town. Let me put my seatbelt on, because I saw the cops are up right here. Well, I'll just drive through town here. Cool little building. I assume that's a city building, because the police car's out front. Just got gas here at the station. Really nice lady inside. Just picked up a 12-pack of Coors Light. They're not, you're not going to find a massive selection of, you know, craft brews here or anything like that, but their liquor selection was pretty freaking amazing. I couldn't believe how much liquor they had on hand. But I tell you, it's pretty cool. Neat little place, neat little town. This is about the whole town here. There's not a lot going on here. So, what else can I show you? Got the Shavers Fork Bridge here, also part of the rail trail. Cool, you can ride across it. And you can see the bike route. And the sign for Hendrix, which is about 4 miles away. So, that's pretty much the whole town. I'm going to come up here around the corner and I will show you. Actually, I should run in the shop and save and see if they have a book. I need a book to read. Let's do that. But first, let me show you this restaurant. And actually, it looks like it might be reopened. I'm not, well, no, just a truck out back. So this place here was the coolest little restaurant to eat at. And actually, I see an open sign. So I'm not sure. Black Fork Pizza, interesting. They might be back in business and we may have to check them out. And if that's the case, then I don't know how much of this deli meat food that I brought I'm going to actually eat. So we will check that out. We're going to be heading up that way here in just a few minutes. That's where the trailhead is, and that's where all the camping's at. But for now, this is Black Fork Pizza. We may try that tonight, don't know. And I'm going to go see if I can find myself a book. All right, so we are headed out of Parsons. So it looks like you're just heading out of town, nothing to see, which is exactly what we want. And we're gonna drive out here, probably 3 or 4 miles. I'll mark it. I'm at 189 right now, so we'll see how far it is. We're just gonna stay straight on this road right here, so I'm just gonna turn you off for now. All right, so Hendricks turns off to the right, and that's actually where we're headed. We're going toward Hendricks. So we're just following 72 south. Those mountains are freaking impressive. All right, so just coming through Hendricks now. Hendricks is really nothing to see. Heading out of town on 72. 72 is kind of cool. If you follow it, I believe it goes up and around the mountain and comes out on the other side, more toward Seneca Rocks. Really, I don't know if we'll go this route or not. I'll probably go back out the opposite direction to get to where I want to go. But little town of Hendricks here, just another little Appalachian hometown, just a cool little vibe. I could see myself living in a place like this, except there's no industry, obviously. I don't know where you'd get a job. Then right now I'm working from home most of the time, but still, I'm not sure what would feed that industry. We've gone about 2 miles since we turned off from Parsons. Shaver's Fork right here. And what we got here? Narrow road. Yeah, this road does get narrow. Actually, I believe it goes into 1 lane. It's still paved. It's still a nice road, but it is not wide. It reminds you of what you think of when you think about West Virginia roads. Now, I got fuel at the station back there in Parsons. That's the only gas station that I've seen. One of the other stations I used to visit is closed down, so it seems like it's a tough row to hoe when you're trying to make a living down here. There's just not enough population to keep too much stuff open. It sounds like if you get one little bit of competition, man, it's just hard to survive, it seems. You can see now this road is really narrowing out, and it gets even narrower and twistier and turnier. Sign there said Dry Fork Road. I believe this is still part of 72. We'll see if we see any route signs. But you can see how it's getting pretty rural. You're getting away from people. You can see the river right there on the right. I believe this is the south branch of the North Fork of the Potomac River. And if you're a trout fisherman, they say this is one of the best places around to fish for trout, especially fly fishing. Personally, I don't fly fish. I've never tried it. I'd like to learn it, but it's a skill set that I haven't yet obtained. It's something I'd like to try, but not enough hours in a day, folks. Not enough hours. Again, if you could picture this in the summertime when these leaves are all covered, you know, and everything's shaded and just gorgeous. This is a fantastic drive that time of year. My brother and I did this in my Land Rover and camped down here, and what a fantastic time driving that thing down here, middle of summer, all the leaves on, nice breeze, man, just a gorgeous drive. You can see here, looks like you're coming through a tunnel of trees. Now, Otter Creek Wilderness is over there on the right, on the other side of the river, and I'm not exactly sure where it starts. I think it's still kind of residential over there right now. But as we come further up here, we'll be getting into Otter Creek National Forest, and there's a swinging bridge that goes across to the trail and over to the trail register and stuff, and it's really cool. We'll walk down and take a look at it. We are 5 miles from where I checked the odometer back in Parsons, so it's not a long way off the beaten path, but once you get out into this area, it seems like you're lost. Just know that you're not. You are in the exact right place if you can't see another human being. At least that's my opinion. Now, oddly enough, I've been coming down here for, man, 30 years plus. And in those 30 years, I've only seen one bear ever, and that was in this area. All right, this is Otter Creek. I just saw the sign. We're just going to turn down here just to show you where it's at, and we'll come back and get a good view of it. The sign was actually on the wrong side of the road, so I almost missed it. It was made to be seen from coming the other direction, which is kind of odd. We'll see when we leave. But they have a nice parking area here. We've parked cars here many times. I've even parked like convertible Jeeps down here with never any kind of problems whatsoever. Down that little trail there is going to be the swinging bridge. We'll check it out in a little bit. For now though, let's go get our camp set up so we can see what's going on. But this is definitely a good place to take a hike, and the camping up in Otter Creek is phenomenal. There are massive boulders that litter like all sides of the stream, and it's just unreal. I'm gonna turn out here. Actually, the sign is completely sideways. I mean, that may be the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. Well, not in my life. I've seen some stupid stuff in my life, but if you're not looking, you're gonna go right past that sign. So probably a good thing that I knew where it was, or just about where it was, to show you where to turn. But that is one of the main trailheads. This is, I believe they call it Yellow Creek. I believe, I don't want to misquote it, but I believe that's called Yellow Creek. It'll be on a map. And we're going to go up here another couple miles. That was at 5 miles from Parsons, right there about, between 5 and 6. My odometer is kicked over to 195. We're at 189. You can see the road's getting even narrower. The further out you get, the more narrow it gets. Still got the river raging down there. I have absolutely zero cell service out here, which makes it perfect. A pretty big tree came down there. That's impressive. Sign back that we just passed said Red Run or Red River. It said fly fishing only. Keep that in mind if you're a fisherman. That one said it's part of the Blackwater Cooperative. We got a small residential area here, and we're not too far from where we're going. Start seeing some camps here, like this one on the right. They've got a nice big field that's all mown out. There's camp here on the left, Dry Fork Road. That's a beautiful cabin up there. I would love to have something like that overlooking the river. And this right here is River Road, I believe it is. So look for River Road, hang a right. And here we go. So this drive to me is just gorgeous. I love it. I love being this close to the river. Here is where we took a shower. And I'm telling you right now, it is raging. I lost my battery. Now we're back. Here's another of the waterfalls. Like I said, we took a shower here. Pretty cool. I've not been down here when the river's been flowing this heavy. This is all from the snow runoff, so it's pretty impressive. Not unusual to see a lot of people coming through here during the day. A lot of fishermen come down to this area to park their car and then go fish. Looks like this might be a natural spring. Folks are filling up their buckets. Yep, they got a natural spring coming out of the ground there, which is pretty cool. Now, there's some camps back in here that are permanent camps that people will just come down and visit whenever. And then there are some dispersed camps that you'll see. We're probably, I don't know, 3/4 of a mile from where the dispersed camps are. I got a couple of my favorite spots up here we're going to pull in and check out. A couple of the permanent camps. I could live like this. I really could. I would just love it. I wouldn't bat an eye. Man, let me retire next to this. I'd be in heaven. Might get a little hairy when the water's way up, but I think I could deal with it. So I'm willing to share. I'm willing to tell you where I camp, where we go, because there's not too many places you can come do this. You know, and I'm not a big fan of pulling into a campground. I showed you my big camper that, you know, you take to campgrounds. This is not a place for that. In fact, this little coffin camper that's behind the sequoia right now, it's about perfect for this. I'm not a fan of those types of campers. I'd rather tent camp, but with the weather that we could be getting, I think I'm gonna be glad that I brought it, I'm sure. It's actually a little further back than I thought. We're looking at we're right at 10 miles from where I first clocked it at Parsons. Actually right at 9 miles right now, almost 10. Is this the first ones? Yes. So you can see here the road just kind of turns up in, and you have some pretty cool campsites. I've camped here before. It's pretty decent. Not bad at all. We'll check it out. Doesn't seem to be too muddy either, which is good. Let's see. I'm gonna go up and check the next one out before we do anything. Let's just go take a look. Let's find our best options here. There's only a few of them here. I mean, we're talking 3 or 4 total, and they're usually not all full, but every once in a while you'll find somebody that's in here. This one's pretty nice. So he's got a little table set up there. Looks kind of cool. Close to the river. And you'll see a few cars come through here, you know, at nighttime, but nothing crazy. I'm gonna keep going and see what else we have. I think there's like 1 or 2 more. There's one right there. And what else? And another one here. This one I don't like because it's too far from the river. I like being right on the river. I'm gonna go down and just pick a campsite out and call it a day. Get set up and maybe go do something else. So let's do this. Do I like that one? I kind of do like that one. I think it's farther from the river. How's this look? This I like. Let's just pull up in here. Check it out. Oh yeah, we've used this one several times. This one is a really cool little campsite. In fact, is that a pile of firewood over there? I believe it might be. Where's that rocks? That's rocks. Dang it. I was hoping we found a stash of firewood. Nice little fire pit though. Alright, this is where we're setting up. No doubt about it. Got a couple pallets here we could burn. Alright, so this is campground. Just beautiful. I mean, to me, this is living. Looks like the water got pretty high here recently. The sun going down over the mountain over there. Yeah, I could do this. So this is it. This is dispersed camping down here in just outside of Parsons, West Virginia. Man, just a gorgeous place. I can't say enough about it. I love it. So this is where we're going to spend the night. We got the truck pulled in here. Time to start unloading it. See what we can get set up. All right, it is about 6 o'clock. Sun's going down. We got the fire going. Lantern lit. Sun's going down above that mountain over there. The river is flowing. And we are set. Oh boy. Oh wow, good morning. Just taking a little look outside here. A little different than when I went to sleep, that's for sure. Take a look at this. Looks like we got a little snow last night. So I got a really good night's sleep. Man, it's like 8 o'clock in the morning now. I went to bed it was probably 9 last night. Actually, I came in here and watched a movie on my iPad. Just quiet. Heard some raindrops overnight, but just a few. I mean, it was nothing, wasn't like a full-fledged rainstorm. And then woke up this morning, it's like we got some snow coming down, which is pretty cool. We'll have to put a stake up on this tarp to keep it kind of tented up, to keep the snow from dropping it down. I'll do that before I go anywhere or do anything. I'm going to check the weather forecast when I can get to a cell signal and see what happens. Having some trouble with this camera right now. It wants to keep kicking off, so when you watch this, it's not a bunch of edits going on. It's a bunch of me turning the camera back on. So I think the cold is probably affecting it. I was having the same problem last night when we first got here, and then I was able to use it later when I changed the battery. But I'm showing a full battery, and I'm showing plenty of room on the memory card. So I just messed with some of the settings here on this camera. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with it, but I don't know. I have no idea. I think it's the battery. We're going to find out here shortly. But I tell you what, this has been just a great night's sleep. There's no other way to say it. I slept like a baby. I got up a couple times to go out and use the bathroom just because I had a couple beers last night. But other than that, man, I slept really, really well. Have a, it's a mummy bag. I think it's a 0-degree bag that I never zip up. I can't stand being confined like a mummy, so I always leave it open, use it like a blanket. And it kept me plenty warm, even though obviously it's below freezing because there's snow on the ground. But I tell you what, there's no heat in this little camper. I was not cold at all. Man, I can't say enough about this sleeping bag. And it's not even a big brand name. I don't think it's a North Face or anything like that. It's a Swiss Sport, S-U-I-S-S-E Sport. And I've had it for years. I don't even remember where I got it, but man, it's been on some fun trips. So, plan for the day, we're going to get up, get this camper set up to stay by itself all day in the snow, because I think that's what we're up against. And then we're going out and about. Go see some sights, and I don't know, see what we get into. All right, so we are being extra cautious. There's a lot of standing water on these roads that you can't tell if it's ice or not. And guardrails are kind of a second thought here in places. So we're just taking our good old sweet time coming off the mountain here. I started to film back on the river road because the waterfall coming off the hill was just fantastic, but the heater was blowing so hard that it just made it sound horrible, so I didn't even try. I'll try to get it later when the truck's warmed up. But take a look at these West Virginia mountain roads after just a thin dusting of snow. I am not liking it. We're heading into Seneca Rocks. This is one of the most treacherous sections of road. It's a lot steeper than what you're going to see on camera. Right now we're going downhill. I think we're at an 8% grade or maybe a 10% grade. You can see that we've got some snow going on, a little bit of rain. Really can't tell 100% what the roads are like. So I'm trying to take it easy, and it's crazy driving down here. I'm gonna pass the salt truck right now, so that's a good sign. There are two iconic scenes that I love to drive through. One is coming out of the tunnels into Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because as you come through the tunnels into the city, the whole city just kind of opens up, and it's just like you go from a rural mountain drive basically to a thriving, sprawling city all at the same time. My second favorite site is after you crest the top of the hill and start coming down into Seneca Rocks, because the rocks are looming right in front of you. You can see the Seneca River, I believe that's what it is. It's raging pretty hard. We're down in the bottoms, which just an awesome, awesome sight. Now, I can't say that I do or don't believe in Bigfoot, and I only bring this up for one reason. Supposedly, back in the day, there was a sighting somewhere on this road, right up here at this little town, and I tell you what, there was I believe it was a truck driver, and he claims that a Bigfoot crossed the road right in front of him through his headlights, and then went back up the mountainside. Now, I don't care if you believe in Bigfoot or not. I can't say that I have any evidence that it exists, but if you've been out in these hills and these mountains and you realize the scope and the size of them, it's pretty obvious that they could handle a massive animal that you never see. In fact, I mentioned yesterday when I was driving in, I've been coming down here for 30 years, sometimes 3 and 4 times per year, and I've only ever seen one black bear outside of going up to the landfill where they try to go eat trash. So, you know, it's highly possible that it happens, but you would think with today's technology that we'd be able to get some type of a heat signature or some other physical evidence that these creatures exist. And I want to say it was right in through here that this sighting occurred. Obviously there's a field right up here above to my left, and there's the tree line on the right, and I can't say for sure, but this looks similar to what I saw just by judging. Actually, it's right here. It's this church. I do remember this church now. So it was right in this area that the trucker supposedly saw it, and yep, Onega, that's the town. But whether you believe or not, if you spend any time in these mountains, you're going to come to the conclusion that you're probably not seeing everything that's out there. That's the rocks right there, and I love pulling into town down here and seeing these rocks coming up above us. It's just unbelievable. So up here on the right, we're going to run into Harper's General Store, which if you've ever watched any of the camping movies or people that go whitewater rafting, there's always an iconic...
In half of a mile, left turn onto West Virginia 28.
there's always an iconic store that people stop at to get their supplies, and this is that place. This is iconic Harper store. You can see the sign for it right there, and right in front of me is freaking Seneca Rocks. All right, so first off, here's the rocks. There's actually a trail that goes up to the top. It's an easy trail to hike. It's not a problem at all. You can go straight to the top without ever climbing a single rock, and I've seen people of all fitness levels able to do it, so it's not like it's something you can't do. Even if you're not a seasoned hiker, getting to the top, no big deal. And once you're up there, there's an overlook that overlooks this whole valley, and you can see for miles and miles around, and it's just a fantastic spot to check out. And I apologize if I'm starting to sound like President Trump with all of these beautiful things, and it's the greatest thing ever, and it's fantastic. Apologize for that. So this is Yoakum's, which is also part of the iconic cabins set up down here. Yoakum's, I think they own everything down here, to be honest with you. Their name's on most of it. And then across the street you've got Harper's, and it's just a cool little place. I'm gonna try to film inside. I don't know if they'll let me. I don't know if they're up for doing it or not, but we're gonna give it a shot.
My name is Sarah.
Hi, this is Sarah, and you are the manager or the owner?
I just work here.
She just works here?
Yeah.
So this is Sarah. She works here at the Harper General Store. And what were you saying about it?
Oldest store in the state,
Okay.
still in the same family, still at the same location. We've been here since 1902.
1902.
Yes. Fifth generation took over, I think, in July. Yes.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
So this is one of the places I come down to every time I come down, just to go through the store, usually grab something just to kind of support the local business. Almost always buy gas here because there's no other place to get gas. And then if you look at the amenities, this place is just cool. I mean, the old cash register.
That's a 1910, and they used it up until 1985.
That is awesome. I can remember it being in use. That's how long I've been coming down here. You got t-shirts. I think there's other gifts, food.
Yeah. All of our food here is local. So we keep everything, try to keep everything local. Yeah.
Is this a really slow time of the year for you?
This is our downtime.
I figured.
Yes.
I figured.
Yeah.
We're actually camping over in Hendricks.
Oh, okay.
Just
okay.
single tent camping. It's cold, but we always come down and check out the sites. But
yeah, it's definitely cold. Yeah.
Kind of doing a video on like all the local stuff. You know what I mean? We've been coming down so often, and there's people that don't know what West Virginia is really about.
Right.
That
right.
we want them to see like the hidden gems, and this is a hidden gem.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
most people, if you're from the city, you're probably thinking, I would never stop at a store like that. No, stop at a store like this. This is quintessential West Virginia. This is awesome. We're not all rednecks. Most of us aren't.
We just don't admit to it all the time.
Well, maybe that's it. That is cool. I'm gonna look around a little bit more.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you for that.
Uh-huh.
All right, Bo, hold down the fort, okay? Keep the place under control, all right? All right, I can't leave without a grape knee high.
There's a special place.
I know. This is one of them. Love it.
You came all the way here from New York to get one of them.
Actually from Ohio. Not as far away, but far enough.
Well, actually, I just had a guy in here from New Jersey, and the other guy was from New York.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was killing my husband's sheep.
It's killing the sheep? Oh, wow.
Bears like to do that. I guess sheep are extra tasty.
So you don't see them very often. Is there a good place to go see them?
No. Dolly Sods. Yeah. Is a good place because there's a lot of hiding places there because of the wilderness area thing.
Okay.
So they actually in bear season they kill a lot of bear back on the sods. They call it the sods.
But don't go now because they're in hibernation.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one I've seen was over on Otter Creek, and that was it. So.
Heading 33 towards Harrisonburg, Shenandoah Mountain. I think Shenandoah Mountain, they've been there. It's a good place, I think, to see. They a lot of people see them on Shenandoah. You just have to be at the right place at the right time.
That's it.
Same deer hunting or anything
That's
else.
it.
You know, you just got to be there.
I saw one run across the road down there one day.
Did you really?
Yeah, right down there.
Yeah. They actually killed some in behind the rocks in bear season. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Did you see the bobcat?
I did.
Isn't he pretty?
He is pretty. He is beautiful. Well, thank you both very much.
You're welcome.
You guys have a fantastic day.
Thanks, you too.
And that heater works. That heater feels great. All right, so this is a typical West Virginia transaction because these people are fantastic. I mean, I walked in and said, "Can I record?" Absolutely. And she started telling me right off the bat about how long I'd been here and what was going on. I mean, this is what West Virginia is all about. So we're going to head over to the rocks now and see what we have over there. You can see that normally it's crystal clear. A lot of trout fishing in here. A lot of people fly fish it. Very, very swift river. Just checking out the other side here. Definitely a little chilly for any type of water activity. You can definitely kayak it. I did not bring my kayak, and although I don't look like a kayaker, I am. I have done whitewater kayaking down here. I'm a bigger fan of touring kayaks, only because I'm old now, but it is what it is. We all get there someday. You'll get there. Don't worry about it. All right, we're going to continue this journey. Really don't have a good view of the rocks from here, so let me see if I can find another view. I'm kind of bummed the Discovery Center is closed, but not all that unexpected. So that's the rocks here from the parking lot. You can see the sign in front of me tells me not to go up on the road, but we just checked it out. It was pretty treacherous. If you look really close, and I don't know if the camera's going to catch it, you can see the overlook up there at the top, and then you can see where you can actually go out on the rocks, even though they really don't want you out there. We've been out there many, many times. It's a really popular place to climb in the summertime. So you'll see climbers going up the rock, and there's actually there's a viewing center on down here where you can throw a couple quarters in a telescope and watch people climbing the rock face. I believe it was the U.S. Army used to train some of their elite on the mountain itself, so they could learn the climbing skills needed. And I believe it's still used. I know I've been on top of the mountains, up on the rocks before, and there's a land surveyor actually has his name carved up there from the 1800s when they first surveyed it. And you can also see it's a straight rock shelf, so it's a sheer drop off on the front side, but it's also a sheer drop off on the back side, and it's just a single shelf that goes up into the skyline there. So really cool place. I would highly recommend taking that walk to the top, because the views from up there are unparalleled. You can see everything down this valley for miles around. So we're passing Yoakum's here on the left, and if you look directly in front of the camera, that mountain that looms in the background, that is one of the sections of Dolly Sods. Now, Dolly Sods it's an area that's up on top of the mountain where the branches of the trees only grow on one side because of the wind that's constantly badgering them. It's Seneca Creek, that's the name of the creek. Good to know. At least the side tributary is. I still believe the other one is the south branch of the Potomac, but I'm not 100% sure. We got some cool little cabins here on the right. I'm not going to stop. It's not a history tour. I'm more interested in showing you some of the outdoor sites. Outdoors is what I'm into. I do like history, but I'm here for showing you the secret places the locals may not even know about. So, all right. So I just grabbed my grape knee-high and came to the realization that it's not a twist off top. Now, this may pose a dilemma for some people. But I had to stop the truck and show you how to open it. So luckily, your truck always comes with a built-in can opener. You just didn't know it. There we go. It's open. Ooh, that's exactly how I remember it. All right, now that we have our grape knee eye open and it tastes like pure sugar bliss, we can get back on the road. All right, so for the less adventurous types, or if you're coming down this time of year, this whole area is just filled with cabins you can rent. Now, most of them are owned by Yokums. So if you look up Yokums on the internet, you're gonna find a whole listing of all kinds of cabins to rent. Anything from honeymoon suites to, you know, massive family cabins, but they are beautiful. There are some beautiful cabins down here. Personally, I'm an outdoor guy. I would rather primitive camp like I'm doing, but there are times when I would rather have a nice bottle of wine and chill out with someone you love in a fireplace enclosed wooden cabin with no one to bother me. You can let your imagination fill in the rest on that one. But they are all located here on this route, which is, I believe we're on 33 again, and it parallels the river here. And over to my right, we have this long line of mountains that just follow the whole range. Now there's some cool hiking trails on top of those mountains that traverse the entire way. I haven't done those trails yet. I am going to show you a trail that I have done, and it is definitely worth doing. It's kind of one of those hidden gems I've been talking about, and it's not far from here. We're going to come up to, it's a big tourist trap up here, and I'm not afraid to say it's a tourist trap, and you'll see it in a second. But once we get there, I'm going to show you our next destination. So I think we've got another 3 or 4 miles before we get to the store up here. We're going to pass some really cool rock structures, and we're kind of in the shadow of the mountains. Roads they're decent. I can see that they're wet. I mean, you can't really tell if they're icy or not. We did pass a salt truck, so pretty sure it's been salted, but I'm still being just a little bit cautious. You just never know. And here's that rock. Let me just slow down here. We're gonna jump out, take a look at this thing. So anytime you're driving down here, you're going to notice certain things, and there's things that are gonna stick out in your mind, and this is one of the things that sticks out in my mind all the time. All right, this is the rock that always stands out in my mind when I'm driving through this area. You just kind of come up on it around a turn. There's actually a pull off right here to stop and check it out, because people actually love to see it. It's just really neat. Now, what it makes me think of is you can see the layers of stratification of how the rock was built, and you can see that it's turned over. It's actually on its side at a diagonal. So this is the opposite side of the road, and I'm just getting a close-up of the rocks, and you can see better how they kind of go at an angle, the way the different layers of the stratified rock are actually made. And you can look on up above, and you can see there's other sections that are the same way. And I'm not a geologist, but I can imagine that these rocks are formed this way in straight flat layers, and then as time moved on, those rocks have shifted and are now at an angle that you can see there in the background. So I think there's a lot of geology that's probably studied down here. I'm not a geologist, really don't have that much interest in it, but just to see this alongside the roads, it makes you wonder how they got here, what it was like when they moved, and did they move all at once, or did they move slowly over time? Did they just gradually start to roll? Is this the reason that the Appalachians are so much shorter than the Rockies? They say the Rockies are much younger. So is this what happens when the mountains get older? They start to kind of roll over and twist and start to shrink. They kind of flatten out. I don't know, I'm speculating, but just my science brain says, hey, what the hell happened to these? So, ponder it. Think about it when you're coming through here. You'll never see them the same way again, will you? All right, so this is Smoke Hole Caverns gift shop, and if you've been in this area, then there's a good chance this is what you know about Smoke Hole Caverns. And this is the tourist trap, I get it. The locals probably don't come here. It's not a lot of fare for them. It's touristy stuff, and I've been in here a few times, so I'm not going to go in. They do have some West Virginia type stuff going on in here. They do, I believe they have the West Virginia wines. They have some handmade crafts. They have some things like that, which it's a really cool spot. But I'm not here for the tourist season. Really nothing I want to buy, and I'm not going to do it. Now, Smoke Hole Caverns gift shop happens to sit right next to actual Smoke Hole Caverns. So let's take a look here. Here is the entrance to Smoke Hole Caverns. So just beyond that gate is a cavern entrance. And I'm not going to go back there because they have it all kind of walled off here. But the caverns go deep back into the mountains down here, and really cool. You see some stalactite formations, stalagmites, all that kind of good stuff. Just a really cool place to visit. Now, the reason I stopped here, I wanted to show you something, but you can barely see it. So across the road here, up in the mountains, right at the top where the mist is coming off the mountains, is a rock ledge formation. And I'm not sure where you can see it. It's kind of right in here, right beyond there. But that's called Chimney Rock. Now, Chimney Rock is a hidden gem. Most of you have never heard of it. Most of you have never been there. In fact, I'll bet you don't even know where the trailhead is. I'm going to show you. All right, so we're headed, I believe we're still north on 33. Still have some really cool rock formations next to the road that really mark out, you know, where the road should be and where they actually carved it out to make this thing. We're looking up above here at Chimney Rock. So we're going to keep heading north. It's only a couple miles, and there's a road that comes off to the right-hand side. You cross the bridge, and then I'll show you where the trailhead's at, so just stay tuned. So we just passed a sign that says Smoke Hole, and this is going up toward the Smoke Hole Recreation Area. See a sign here that says Smoke Hole Road, 500 feet. That's where we're turning. So signal on, we're going to cross the Smoke Hole. This might be the Smoke Hole River, don't know. Still don't know the names of the river. I should probably learn it. Now, Smoke Hole was named after the Indians who used to go back in some of these caverns and smoke meat or do whatever, and they would see the smoke coming out of the ground, and that's how they got the names. Pretty basic, I get it. We're not really interested in that, so we're just going to keep driving out here. So you can see that it's kind of an unmarked road. There's nothing that tells you where you're going, what's going on. You don't know that there's a trailhead up here. You don't know much about any of it. And that's one of the things that makes this a hidden gem. You know, I actually found this by reading, and I think it was a backpacker magazine or maybe an outdoor magazine, and it mentioned it, and I was excited because this is an area I always came to and wanted to check it out. So I think this may be the trailhead right here. Yes, it is. Okay, so here's the trailhead that goes up to Chimney Rock, and let's just see if we can't get some information here. Trail itself, if I remember, is fairly steep. It was a pretty good climb. My brother and I did it a while back. Let's just take a look at the signs here. This doesn't really tell you much about it. I don't even actually see the name Chimney Rock on the map itself. But I believe, let's see. I tell you what, I'm not seeing, I may have to pull the old magazine out to get the information. So it talks about the rock cliffs along North Fork Mountain are ideal for nesting, etc. So it's talking about where we were, and I'm kind of wondering if maybe the name Chimney Rock isn't like a local name, or just how they portrayed it in the article. we're gonna have to check it out. So just to put in perspective where we're at, we are here, and this is Smoke Hole Road. This is part of the trail here, and this goes all the way through to Seneca Rocks. You can do a big loop. We just came down, was it 28? Yeah, we were on 28. So on 28, we were approximately, I'm gonna guess, in this area here at the visitor center. And I could be wrong because it's hard to see. There's nothing on here to tell me what's what. And these rocks up above show us, you know, where we were. But it's a really cool hike, and I'll throw some pictures on from when we were up on top. Obviously, it's cold, wet, nasty. I'm not doing it today, but it's definitely worth the hike. And this is called the North Fork Mountain Trail 501, and I'll try to include some more information on it. But if you get a chance, this is a place to hike. It's definitely worth it. All right, so this is the road up to Dolly Sods, and it is nice and steep, but it's clear. There was a trailhead sign down there at the bottom, but I didn't stop to get pictures of it. I'm sure there's more up here, but there are a ton of hiking trails all over Dolly Sods where you can do massive loops. You can do primitive camping up here. You can do all kinds of stuff, and I'm sure the camera's not picking up the grade of the road, but it is steep. It's very steep. Just give you a shot out the window here. You can see that we're going up in elevation pretty quickly. Again, just kind of a crappy day. Nothing really going on. It's actually a really good day to be out here showing trailheads and where to go, as opposed to getting out in the woods and actually doing it. Hopefully somebody gets something out of this, gets down here, gets their hike on, because that's what this is about. That's what West Virginia is about. This whole area it's all about getting out in the woods. And we were down there at the Harper General store, and they were showing me that they now have a freezer full, and I didn't have the GoPro on at the time. I wish I had. Oops, just missed the turn off. Dolly Sods is this way. Looks like we're on Forest Road 19. But there was a sign. There was a sign clear as day, and I was busy BSing, talking to you. But anyhow, down at the Harper store, they have a freezer in the back of the store where they're selling all locally farmed meats. So it's kind of interesting. That's where I'll go next time. And you can see here the road to Dolly Sods is closed. So this is what you're going to find this time of year up in here. I don't know really when they open again, but they can't maintain the roads or keep it clear, so they just put the gates down. And this is going to be the end of our Dolly Sods journey. So we'll turn around here. Let's just see if we can get an idea what the sign says on it. No motorized use welcome. Closed to all public motor vehicle use. Please do not block gate. Okay, so there you have it. That's the end of this tour for now. All right, so we are on top of a mountain. We are up in all of that cloud cover. The temp's down to 27. Got some snow starting to accumulate on the sides of the road. Visibility sucks, and we're having a great time. What else can I tell you? Looks like the camera's picking up some better footage than what I'm actually seeing through the windshield. Might be better to drive through the camera lens. That's kind of crazy. Oh, my ears just popped. So we are dropping our speeds down. Got a major interstate above us. That's a good sign. What we got going on here? Wow, visibility is like next to nothing. This is crazy. Hope the camera's getting a good view of this. What we got here? 93 west, 42 north. And you cannot see crap. Well, the plan was to head toward Davis, West Virginia, which is where Blackwater Falls is. And there's a sign for state parks to the left, so that's the way I'm headed. Blackwater Falls is amazing normally, and with the way the water was running yesterday, it should be phenomenal. So I really want to take a look at it. I think I'm going to pull into this gas station, see if they have a map. That might be the best idea yet. And I've got half a tank of fuel, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill up. Ooh, a little slippery right there. All right, GoPro, stop recording. All right, so I pulled into the gas station, filled up, and the entire parking lot is one complete sheet of ice. This is all turned to ice rain. Temps dropped down to 25. I just picked up what could be quite possibly the worst chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life, unless you count grade school cafeteria food from the 80s. I don't know, either way it sucks, but I'm hungry. It's 1 o'clock and I'm gonna head back to the campsite now because this is treacherous, and what I don't want to do is get on one of these mountain roads where there's absolutely no guardrails and no chance of self-rescue. So I think we're gonna play it safe and just head back home. Now, I had about half a tank of gas, but because of weather conditions and lack of gas stations around in general, I want to be full, because if I slide off the road, I want to be able to at least stay warm for a while. I do have some cold weather survival gear and my cold weather boots in the back that would keep me warm, but I want to avoid that situation if at all possible. So I set my destination back to the campgrounds. That's where I'm heading now. Visibility is still next to nothing, and I'm hoping once we get down to a lower elevation it opens up a little bit, but probably not going to record from here forward just because the conditions are just not worth it, and that's all I got. So stay tuned. I'll probably be back on when we get to the campsite. All right, so I took a little detour. I'm still going to head toward Blackwater Falls. The weather kind of cleared up once I got up the mountaintop, and decided I do want to see Blackwater Falls, see how bad it's raging. So I set my GPS to head back to Parsons to head to the camp, but this is on the way, so we're gonna stop anyway. So this is the little town of Thomas, West Virginia, and it's right outside of Blackwater Falls, and there's some really cool stuff here. Little cafe that I like to eat at, it's called the Purple Fiddle, and if you jump on their website you can find all kinds of stuff. They do local bands and things like that. I'm gonna flip my camera around so you can see it. So this is the Purple Fiddle, and basically what it is it's a little tavern restaurant with live music, and just a really cool spot to hang out. Food's good. I can actually hear a band in there right now. We're just gonna peek in the window. If you can see here or not. I would go in here and eat, but I just had that horrible chicken sandwich and hadn't planned on stopping. But this place is really cool. This is their sign, their logo. And then this whole street is filled with more artsy things to check out things to see, antique stores. It's more of an upper end place to visit. You know, it's not like being out in the rural areas. Just give you some ideas here. A couple of the shops, they're closed today. Not sure what they do. Looks like a clothing store. We got a coffee bar and bakery here. Pretty cool. Wine, beer, pastries. We got Chuck's Place, little Christmas shop. Just all kinds of little stuff to check out when you're in town.
What's your YouTube channel?
It's 73 Trips Around the Sun.
All right.
All right, so just all kinds of gift shops. I'm actually looking for a bookstore because I forgot to buy a book, and I can get George Dickel everywhere, but I can't get George Orwell. Kind of crazy. Still don't see a bookstore. All kinds of little stuff. Art. Adventure Guild game shop. There's more on down, but when I came through I didn't see anything, but just want to kind of get an overview of this little town because this is a really cool little place to be. You can see it's packed. People coming in for the weekend. You've got some of the ski resorts close by. Not exactly sure what's going on with this one, but hey, somebody will like it. And then it has brothers, so pretty cool. We'll roll with that. Not sure what this represents. Wouldn't want to see it in the woods. And this one has had a boob job. Dad jokes. Just give you another shot here of the Purple Fiddle. Just a cool little hangout. It's probably one of my favorite places to visit when I'm down here. Yeah, I'm not gonna stop today because I had the lunch lady's chicken sandwich, but just a cool spot. All right, we just pulled into Blackwater Falls State Park. Just a little roadside attraction here. Yeah, right, massive state park, awesome state park. We're gonna head down to the falls. There's a trail right here, and it looks like it's passable. I was kind of concerned because I knew they had a lot of snow down here, but it appears like it's not bad. Doesn't appear that it's completely clear. Bust my butt here, but looks pretty good. So I am going to concentrate on walking, and I'll meet you at the bottom. All right, so conditions are less than optimal, and you can just see by the stairwell going down how treacherous this really is. Probably not the best time of year to be coming down, but it seems like they have some very good foot traffic. Just passed a couple guys coming back up. Looks slick as hell right there. So, all right, off again. All right, so the stairs just turned to complete ice, and from here on, the mist from the falls is blowing up across the stairwell, and it's freezing instantly. So it is the slipperiest situation, and I am not going any further. I'm still recovering from an ankle surgery, and this is about the worst scenario I can put myself in. But these are the falls. They are raging. I mean, completely raging. Very impressive. I've been here a few times, and this may be the most water I've seen coming over them, and it's all from the spring runoff, and you can actually see I'm getting some stuff on the lens right now, so craziness. All right, we're on the upper observation deck. This one's easier to get to, and it's not ice covered like the lower one, but the view is just as impressive. You have to walk down here and experience it for yourself one time. You have to see this, especially this time of year when the snow's melting and all that water's coming across it. I mean, it's spectacular in the summer, but right now, wow. All right, so if you're planning that trip to Blackwater Falls and then down to the Purple Fiddle, I suggest doing it in that order. It's a pretty good hike down to the falls, and then it's only 2.5 miles from the falls over to the Purple Fiddle over in Tucker. Great place to unwind after going down and seeing the falls, seeing the water rushing. And I gotta admit it, I'm still a little bit out of breath from the cold air and the fact that I'm old, lazy, and fat. But I tell you what, it's been an awesome trip. But you know, put that on your bucket list. Get down here to Tucker, check out the Purple Fiddle, shop those shops, see the guy with 37 nipples or whatever the hell that statue was, and get down there to the falls. Check them out. You know, we're at the edge of Blackwater Canyon, which is the canyon the Blackwater Falls runs through on the Blackwater River. And from what I understand, and I haven't found it yet because I haven't really looked for it, there's a couple of trails that go down into the canyon where you can do some hiking and camping and things like that. And I've also heard that there's a second set of falls that are either as grand or even better than the main falls for Blackwater. So I don't know if that's true or not. That's just, you know, rumor mill, and I don't like to trust the rumor mill, but I would like to get down there and find them for myself. when I was on the platform overlooking the falls right up above it, you could look down into the Blackwater Canyon and see, you know, multiple layers of smaller falls that were flowing, and it looks fantastic. It really looks nice. But at any rate, you get down here to Tucker, Purple Fiddle, run on over to the Blackwater Falls. I just passed Mountain State Brewing, which they have some pretty fantastic beer. It is what it is. Get out here and do something. Enjoy those 73 trips around the sun. We're up on Route 219 between Parsons and Tucker. And we're just coming back from Blackwater Falls, and this is an overlook that just over the whole valley. It is gorgeous. You can hear the wind whipping. Not much I can do about that, but I'll try to take it out. So. All right, so I came to check out the windmills, and the gate's open. Who am I not to go through it?
Continue straight for 15 minutes to US 219.
Watch, this is probably some type of federal offense, and I'll probably go to prison for looking at a windmill. Actually, I'm not going any further. I want to see this thing up close. So I'm jumping out to check out this bad boy, see what I can see. All right, so here we are. This is the windmill, and I've never been this close to one before. Pretty massive. Get more over on the hillside, and they're all doing fairly well. They're moving pretty good. We got a lot of wind right now. You can hear the wind whipping around them. So how big is a windmill? Well, that big. Just the base on this thing is unbelievable. Here's the steps going up to it. Here's my hand for reference. What a colossal piece of engineering. And in my opinion, what a colossal waste of resources. From what I understand, they're one of the most efficient ways to create electricity. So I don't think what they produce weighs what it takes to put one in. It doesn't make any sense. But here we are. We got a whole row of them. Some of them turning, some of them not. But it's probably time to go before we get arrested. So back out through the unlocked gate. Is it just me, or does that seem like a really bad idea to leave a gate like this open? All right, good news. I found a place to buy books. A little junk store. Ended up getting 4 books. It cost me $1.75. Not a bad deal. The sign said they had a little bit of everything, and one of the things in the title was books. The place was scary. What can I say? Hey, so now I'm sitting in front of the Black River Pizza Shop. It's the one I pointed out yesterday. It's a little after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to head back to the campsite. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to go eat now. And that chicken sandwich for lunch really didn't do much good for me anyway. So go in and give this a shot. Hopefully they have ice cold beer on tap, and we'll see how it goes. Here we are. All right, we're here at Black Fork Pizza in Parsons, West Virginia, and I just got my mac and cheese bowl, and it looks fantastic. So they got a couple different beers on tap. I think they're from Mountain State Brewing, if I recall. The one I got was the Amber Ale. It was good. They also have a Blonde Ale. I'll tell you about that one in a few seconds. But cool little spot. And what's really cool about this spot is when we were down here, I don't know, 2 or 3 years ago, I brought my dog, and my son and my brother were with me, and we would camp out at the same exact site that we're at right now, but instead of buying food and taking it to the campsite, we just came here to eat every night. And what is cool about it is on the back porch back here, it overlooks the river. So I could bring the dog with me. Food was prepared, didn't have to cook, and we just had a blast. There was nothing to do, there was no work for it. So it's one of the few places in town that you can actually get like a decent sit-down meal and actually be able to bring your dog and have all of the fun that you're still having out in the woods and not have to worry about cooking, which is great. Let's try this here. That's pretty good. That is pretty good. I would buy it again. That's good. Now here's what else is neat. So I've got their menu here, and I actually ordered this after I read through it. So check this out, Detroit style pizza, and dough's made from high protein flour, fresh yeast, cheese crumbles are added to the pan, and the dough's allowed to rise around the cheese. Baked in, get this, 100% beef tallow. Now you don't find that, okay? Beef tallow is where we should be getting our food sources from. And if you jump over to my other channel, Wellness Warrior TV, you're gonna find out that I'm a huge proponent of beef tallow in food as opposed to vegetable oil. Now, I owned pizza shops for almost a decade, and we used gallon after gallon of vegetable oil, the absolute worst oil you can put on food. But that's the way we did it back then. Beef tallow, now that we understand more about food and nutrition, I can't wait to try this pizza. I think it's gonna be phenomenal. So check this out. This is the back deck. This is what I was talking about. And we ate here, and it's been a couple years back. They get a nice little ramp you can walk up. Now they have an outdoor bar, some picnic tables, and check this out. It overlooks the Black River. Now this to me is heaven, especially if you're out here camping, brought the dogs up here, you know, where else can you do that? Where can you do that? And I'm all about having a good time, and this was it. Down here, have a couple beers, have a full meal. It's not expensive. It wasn't bad at all. And this is your view. I will take this all day long. Now the staff here, they were a little bit reluctant about letting me film, but in hindsight, maybe I shouldn't have even asked. I should just start filming, but try to make people feel comfortable. Now, obviously the tables are set up for the winter because really nobody can eat back here right now. Warm enough today. After I got down off the mountain, the temp peaked up to about 45. You know, up mountaintop, the lowest was around, I think 25 was the low point when I was up there, and the ice was unbearable. But inside here, cool little fireplace, a couple beers on tap. It's just a really neat place, and it's clean. Okay, the place is clean, it's spotless. Now that's impressive. You know, most places you go, you can find stuff to pick apart, but this place is beautiful. Now, if you're down here in Parsons, check it out. You know, local businesses, it's tough to stay in business. Support them, man. Come down here, buy some food, have a couple cold beers, get back to camping. This is what life's about. I'm gonna enjoy my mac and cheese. All right, so here's the Detroit style pizza. It looks really good. And again, this is cooked with beef tallow, and that just blows my mind. I can't tell you how happy that makes me. It's I know it's little things. I'm a simple spirit. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Yeah, absolutely. That is good. That is really good pizza. And yeah, you can't describe pizza on film, but it's good. I recommend it. And I'm not gonna let you watch me eat. I'm self-conscious. All right, just finished up lunch at the whatever it is, Black Fork, I don't know. I think it's Black Fork Pizza. It was good. It was really good, especially for being in the middle of podunk nowhere. Now I did find out that it's a restaurant owned by Mountain State Brewing. So Mountain State Brewing has breweries. Actually, I just passed one up in Tucker when I filmed at the Purple Fiddle. So they've got multiple locations, which gives me hope that this place will still be here next time I'm down. I hope they do well. But I tell you what, for being in the middle of nowhere, Parsons, West Virginia, this place was good. It was really good. So I'm actually, I sent some texts off to the family because I'm going to be out of cell range here in a minute, and got some food to take back with me, heading back to the campsite. So that's my final update from being in town. Let's go back to the campsite. We're going to chill out. It's probably raining too much for a fire, but we'll see what happens. All right, for the record, this is a bad idea. The rain has let up just enough for me to turn the windshield wipers off, and I'm going to take you down the trailhead from Otter Creek. Now, this is the trailhead I showed you yesterday that's off the road with the goofy ass sign that is sideways, and I really have nothing else. So the trailhead itself is here. It's just a simple gate that closes it off from the rest of the world. And I'm only going down far enough to show you the swinging bridge, because it is by far the coolest entrance to any trail I've ever seen in my life. And it's not that far down, but it's definitely worth checking out. And I'm going to show you just because I'm here. And that's what this video is about, showing people where you can get out and do some shit. I mean, this is some pretty cool stuff. So we're gonna walk down this trail. It's muddy, it's nasty, it's slippery. It's about 45 degrees down here in the valley. Just left the pizza shop. I've already had 2 beers, had some pizza. I'm gonna go back to the campsite and drink a couple beers just to chill out tonight, just relax. It's way too wet for a campfire, so that'll be interesting. But we're gonna check it out. We're not far off the beaten path. I can already see the river, so we'll just check it out. And we're coming up on the Otter Creek sign. Now, Otter Creek's a federal wilderness area, which means it's managed by the federal government as opposed to being a, you know, a state park or something like that. But what's unique is once you hike in about, I don't know, a mile or so, they finally have a book to sign in at least they used to. A couple sections they took the books out of, and they don't even track who comes through anymore. So it's kind of hit and miss. I couldn't even tell you. It's been a while since we've been here. Coming up on the sign here for Otter Creek, let me show you this. So it's a federal wilderness area, but it looks like it's being managed by the West Virginia DNR, which, okay, cool, that makes sense. West Virginia's here, and, well, the federal government's too busy doing whatever they want to do with your tax dollars. But anyhow, what can I tell you about this place? So I've camped here probably, man, a couple dozen times. We've been big fans of this place. I remember doing like a last minute trip, didn't have a lot of time. We got off work and left the house at like, I don't know, 7 o'clock at night, which put us here at like 11 o'clock at night. And we marched in about 8 miles with nothing but headlamps on. Now, that was a freaky trip. Middle of summer, and came across this bridge, came across all of the stuff, but we still got the trip in, which was all that really mattered. Getting out is all that matters, okay? We can make excuses all day long on why we can't do something, or we can just do it. You know, adversity doesn't mean, it doesn't negate what you want to do. Adversity means you find a way around it, and that's how I live my life. That's how I'm going to live my life. All right, check us out. Coming up on the swinging bridge. Now this is an engineering feat. I mean, to put the swinging bridge across this raging river for foot traffic, it is amazing. You know, I don't know what the bridge cost, but you can see that these cables are sunk deep, and I mean deep into the ground to hold this thing up. Let's go up top, check it out. Wow, that river's moving. I've not seen this river moving like this ever. It's one of the reasons I wanted to come up here and show it to you. So here's the bridge itself. And you can see, I'm gonna jump on it here. You can see it sways. But what a cool entrance to any hiking adventure. And this one in particular is just phenomenal. The scenery up here in Otter Creek, man, it's second to none. Now we're not going to go up into Otter Creek. It's too late in the day. It's almost 4:30 right now, and I'm really not prepared gear-wise to go up in. All it takes is one sprained ankle and you could be in some deep trouble. But this is the river. It's raging. It's unbelievable. Now I highly recommend that you do a hiking trip up this trail. And this one I believe is called Yellow Creek. And it ties into a secondary trail that comes into Otter Creek. Now, some of I believe it's the U.S. Army trains here. They put in at either Parsons or Hendrick, and they come out at the opposite end, Parsons or Hendrick. So it's about a 20-mile loop, and from what I understand from talking to these guys while they were marching through, it's a navigation course. So they're kind of dropped off with coordinates and told to find their way out. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, how hard is that? It's a trail. Well, there's multiple trails that come off of this trail. So there's a place that we camp in Glady. Glady is up over one of these mountains, and we've camped there before in a car and hiked up what was called the Milius Trail onto, I can't remember the name of the other trail, but basically they all connect. Green Mountain Trail and all these other subsidiaries, and they all connect to the main Otter Creek Trail. So it's easy to get lost if you don't know what you're doing. So with their navigation course, they have to make it from one end to the other, or wherever they're dropped off, to get out. And they only have, I think they have like 20 or 25 hours to get off the trail. So it's a pretty big endeavor for them. And I remember we were camped at one of my favorite campsites up here, just chilling out, and it was like 7 or 8 in the morning. We just kept hearing guys come just trotting down through, and we're like, what in the world is going on? And it was the U.S. Army doing some type of maneuvers and marching down the trail. Really cool to see. And man, thank you to our servicemen and women who are out there doing what they do, because without you, I couldn't be standing on this bridge filming this in a free country. God bless you. I mean, that's all I got to say for you. If I can support you in any way, you please get a hold of me and tell me. Leave a comment below and I'll do what I can do, because I feel like I owe you a debt of gratitude. But at any rate, this is Otter Creek. This is the swinging bridge that goes over onto Yellow Creek Trail. I showed you the trailhead. I'm not gonna, I think this was North Fork Road. I know I said it earlier in the video. It looks like we've had some folks just camping out here at the trailhead before. We got some firewood piled up in a recent campfire that hasn't been destroyed. So got one there, and there's another one over here. I don't know, it seems kind of odd to want to camp at the trailhead, but I guess if you'd come in like we did at 11 o'clock at night with headlamps, might make sense to camp out here and then head on out to wherever you're camping at. But from the looks of this firewood and the way it was cut, and the fact that I can see tire tracks on a trail that shouldn't have any tire tracks on it, I would say that somebody breached the gate, came down here, and this was probably a party spot more than anything else. Although if it was a party spot, I don't see anything that needs cleaned up. But that firewood was definitely trucked in. It's all cut and split. I don't see a bunch of beer bottles and stuff, which is a good sign. I do see where the river's been up all the way up into here, which is impressive. I've never seen that, and I'll bet it's moving even faster than it is right now when that happens. But if you get a chance, me, I'm 50, I'm still doing this shit. No excuses. Get out here, do it. Get it done. If this isn't your thing, car camp like I am tonight. If that's not your thing, get an RV and camp at a campground. But get out here and see what nature has provided. I don't care about an art museum. I don't care about, you know, a particular restaurant. I don't care about going to the theater. None of that stuff excites me. This excites me. This is, to me, the real world. So that's Otter Creek. This is a swampy mess. I'm heading back to my campsite for a cold beer. Peace out. Whew, a little out of breath, but check this out. I confirm my suspicions. Here is the gate coming in the parking lot. And check this out. Somebody's cut the lock to swing the gate. Now, you can guarantee that that's how they truck firewood down there. But there's a reason this gate is closed. The lock would have gone in there. So, come on, people. Do better. Do better. There's plenty of dispersed camping up on River Road or wherever you want to go that you can pull with a truck and use firewood, okay? We've got to keep these public camping trails open and healthy. Going down and dumping off a load of firewood next to the swinging bridge with a truck is not helping our cause at all. Do better. All right, so we're back at the campsite. It's beautiful. Nobody messed with anything, which I expected. I suspect that people down here are doing the same thing I'm doing and they're trustworthy. Now, interestingly enough, my fire's still smoldering. I can't believe there's still some spark in the old girl. Probably not worth doing anything with. Now, I'm not gonna bother. And compared to what we've seen today, it looks pretty calm now. You got a nice little waterfall over there on the hillside. I'm extremely pleased that we put the stake up before we left, because you can see on the ground here the demarcation line of where it's soaked and where it's not too bad. Now, it was wet back there before, but it's nothing like it is out here. So that stake did its job, and this setup worked out perfectly. I'm going to throw some contacts in, or actually take my contacts out, throw my glasses on before it gets dark out and it's harder to do, and before my hands get dirty. I'm kind of crazy like that. And then I'm going to settle in with a book and a cold beer, and I'm just going to chill out the rest of the night. Probably won't film anything else tonight because there's really nothing worth filming. I'm not building a campfire. The sky's overcast, it's raining. If I get a good rainstorm and I'm sitting outside and it's interesting, maybe I'll film that, but I doubt I do much else. But you know, thanks for coming with me on this journey. Tomorrow I will pack up and head out of here. I saw a little coffee shop in Parsons on the way out. I'm probably going to stop there to see what they have. You grab a cup of coffee, let you know how that goes, and then we're gonna head west back home and try to be home in plenty of time to watch the Super Bowl with the family. So overall, this has been just so much fun and therapeutic for me. For me, getting out and doing this means so much. I don't even know how to describe it. It is so therapeutic. I can't even, no cell phones, no worries, no nothing. So anyhow, that's all I've got. Unless something extremely interesting happens, this is probably the end of the video, and I'll show you how we get out of here tomorrow, and I'll probably edit all this out anyway, so it doesn't really matter. I should just shut up now, and I will. Some wild turkeys here. Let's see if I can catch them. There they go. Looks like about 4 of them there. Yep, 5. I see 5 now. Very cool. All right, so we tried to hit the coffee shop for quick breakfast, and that didn't happen. They're closed on Sunday. That's kind of odd. You'd think Sunday'd be a huge day for churchgoers or whatever else is going on, but said we're going to go into B&J's and get breakfast. And you can see this is called the Historic Western Maryland Railway Depot, and of course they got a little ice cream shop here too. Here's the old depot. It's the building right behind B&J's. My son's really into trains, so it's pretty cool. This is like trains in operation from 1859 until 1983. That's pretty impressive. Now I believe the tracks are the rail trail, that is the Allegheny Trail. But anyhow, we're gonna go inside, get some breakfast, and get back on the road. Oh hey, so this place is neat. Okay, so last time we were here, it was pretty decent, but it looks like they remodeled. The place is clean. It's very, very nice inside. This is B&J's. Ordered a breakfast that they call the West Virginia breakfast. It was eggs that I ordered over hard, biscuits with gravy, sausage, toast. Just sounds fantastic. You can see I got some dark circles under my eyes. I did not sleep well last night. The wind coming through that campsite was unbelievable. I was waiting for something to fall on the camper. Did have some small sticks and stuff coming down out of the trees and all that good stuff, but overall it wasn't too bad. But tell you what, I'm tired. I got here, I washed my face in the bathroom there, put my contacts in. Still kind of half waking up. Got a fresh cup of coffee here. I'll probably have 2 or 3 while I'm sitting here. But food looks like it's going to be amazing, and I'll update in a minute. There's one thing I can't stress enough, being kind of quiet because there's other customers here in the place, but when you're coming to a small town like this, spend your money at the local businesses. It doesn't matter if it's their grocery store, their gas stations, or their diners. There's not a lot of industry in this part of the country. There's not a lot going on, and you're supporting a whole lot more than you realize. Now, I screwed up. I wasn't thinking. I bought food at a grocery store and brought it down in a cooler. Now, had I really thought about it, I'd have waited till I got down here and used their local grocery store to support the local businesses, the people that work there, etc. But in my defense, I didn't eat any of the food I brought. I actually checked out all the places in town. I've been to a pizza shop, I've been to the McDonald's, I've gotten food at their gas stations. I'm now at a diner here this morning. Can't stress enough, buy local. Buy local. It's okay to go unprepared because there's always a local shop to meet your needs. Went to a local bookstore to pick up books. But think about that. Think about where you're at and what you're doing, because a lot of these places won't be here in 10 years if we don't support them. And we're going to support them financially and by kind of spreading the word like I am to get out there and try them. You know, don't be afraid of the small mom and pop diners that you drive by on the way to your destination. It's not about going to these big chain restaurants. This is where it's at. And I'll guarantee the food is fantastic. I don't even have to try it yet. I'll guarantee it's fantastic because it is what it is. It's great home cooking. Now this is interesting. I'm sitting at the table and this is the bowl of sugar for your coffee. Now there's not a single packet of actual real deal sugar in here. It's all 0-calorie sweetener. Now this to me is death. I'm not a fan. Don't need sugar either, but it is what it is.
Oh, you got plenty of coffee.
Yeah, just getting started. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, darling. Do you need anything else?
I don't think so.
All right. Enjoy it.
Thank you. Now this is what I'm talking about. Take a look at this breakfast. Here's my hand, just for reference. Here's me and my coffee cup for reference. Okay? This is a West Virginia breakfast. I am going to kill it. Now imagine picture yourself coming off of Otter Creek Trail, finding this place. You're in heaven, and it's good. All right, breakfast is over, and hate to say it, but so is this trip. This is the end of the journey for this particular camping trip. I've got my vehicle parked over here, and we're gonna head 3.5, almost 4 hours to the northwest and get ready to watch Super Bowl. So it is Super Bowl Sunday 2025. Not that I really care all that much, because I'm pretty sure the Chiefs will win this one again, because, well, the Chiefs always win. But anyhow, this is Parsons. Let me just show you the outlay here. You got the mountains in the background. You've got this little small town, more mountains, old railroad depot, some cool little diners, and a lot of nice hometown people. And that is really what makes this town so unique. The people are so friendly. Okay, if you're down here, man, they engage you like your family, and that is an awesome thing. And it's probably one of the things I really love about this whole area. But enough talk, it's time to drive. All right, so our journey has brought us through Philippi. All right, so the journey has brought us through Philippi, West Virginia, home of the Philippi Covered Bridge. So we're looking here at the Tigard River, and this is one of the few still functioning covered bridges in West Virginia, or probably the whole U.S. You know, it's kind of a landmark for this area. If you start doing any type of research on West Virginia, the Philippi Bridge comes up as kind of the landmark for this area. We've also got a train depot and museum here across the street. There's just so much history in this state. You can drive through pretty much any small town and start seeing what's out there. Now, I haven't seen this bridge in years, and actually it wasn't on my plan to drive through it, but that's exactly what we're gonna do.